You don't have a lot of options. So.
We're down to that, huh?
Is it on? That wasn't meant to sound that way, but.
All right. I'll sit down here. How we doing, Josh? Hanging in there. Yeah. You know, Finn's a mite, but he's starting to get to jamboree season. So he had his first outdoor jamboree yesterday. Rowan had a game last night. And then Finn has another game today. So this makes 3, but a 4 tonight. Yeah, so let me know. No. I mean, I played a couple of years, but I was done after. I think I was 10 and I was done. Yeah. So I can, but I played travel baseball and travel basketball, so I can appreciate the time and commitment. But I only had a sister who was about the same age as me, so my parents didn't have to do all. Right? Yeah. Very much so. Let me know when. Oh, am I on?
We're not on. You
just
gotta flip the switch on.
Oh, okay.
There's a little other side. A little toggle up there.
Have I done this same thing? You think
Live?
I would? I am now. All right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to West St. Paul for today's matchup featuring your Eagan Wildcats versus your West St. Paul Warriors. I'm sitting in the Lions Den here right next to the moms, so forgive any screaming that comes across. All right. Looks like we're going to get it started here with the Umland line centering Drew and Grayson. All right. Eagan wins the face-off, goes D to D. Thomas tries to get it up to Young. Can't connect there. Parsley is giving chase, and Plager will pinch from his D position. Good job going off the body there. Thomas gets it, makes a move behind the net. And it looks like we will get our first penalty of the game. Against the Cats, we'll get Karsnia going to the box for a minute and a half for roughing. West St. Paul taunting him after the penalty, slamming his stick on the ice. Last matchup was chippy to say the least. It's also the same game where Ollie, unfortunately, went into the board, separating his shoulder, and spent 6 to 8 weeks out on the shelf. So let's see what this game brings us. All right, Savage line out there. West St. Paul wins the face-off. They circle along top. So D to D, D to D again. Throw one on net, goes wide right. Ruben does a good job just slapping that against the boards. Charlie picks up the trash and sends it all the way down ice, and we'll have an icing call, and it'll come back out to the right-hand side of Stokesy. All right, let's see who we got up there. We got Savage, Deuce, Lock, and Shoot. Charlie wins that back to Ruben. West St. Paul takes it off their stick. They try to keep it in, but they lose it, so they'll bring it back out to center ice. Charlie giving chase. A little light pressure there. He'll come through. He's got some space. Now he's got some speed coming down the right-hand side. He drops it off for his D. Steve does a good job just to keep that on side. Tries to tap it back in, but loses control. And Parker sends it back at the boards over to Locke. Locke gets it out toward center ice, and looks like we'll have another icing call. All right. 2 back-to-back icing calls. You got 46 seconds left on the power play and 12:55 left in the period. All right. Now you got, let's see, you got Cyril centering Barcelona, and you've got Cam and Ronan as your D pair. Cyril will win that back to Ronan. Gets it to his corner, sends it up on the boards. Wesley Paul keeps him in. D goes down to the mid boards. He'll turn around, send it back out to D. He loses an edge, and it comes out back out to center ice. Barcelona pressuring there, giving chase. Sauced right over his stick. Abraham steps up. Ronan makes a nice move at center ice. He's got it. And he will chip it into the zone where it'll find Ibrahim's stick. He'll collect it in the corner, looking to waste some more time. 13 seconds left on the power play. And here comes West St. Paul the other way. Come down the right-hand side. He'll stop, bring it back to his wing partner. Great job there by Cyril holding that along the midcourts. Drew comes out of the box and now even back at full strength with 12 minutes left in the first period. Thomas gets it, sends it along the boards. Drew with good pressure there. He'll step up and he brings it out of the zone. Egan's going to get a change behind that. So right now it's just 1-on-3. That's chipped out of the zone, and here comes Parker. Good body there. No call on that. Grayson steps up. Karsnia giving chase on the forecheck. Good job there. West St. Paul circles around the net. Looks to get it up. Chips it. No icing will be called. Oh, icing will be called. Okay. Thought that hit a stick, but that'll come back out to West St. Paul, the left of West St. Paul's goalie. 11:26 left in the first period. Still knotted at zeros. Want to say something? All right. West St. Paul wins the faceoff. They'll throw it behind the net and collect it there. We'll get it out to center ice where he's met with Savage. Sheep's got it. Turns, send it back down to center ice. He's got Swanson. Swanson trying to get some speed going. Tries to send it in. Gets chipped. Savage controls it. Circling. Gets it back out to Shoot. Shoot with a shot right to the guy's shin pads. He regains control. That's tipped out in front. Goalie makes a great save there. All right. Parker pitches from his D position. Savage covering for him. They'll switch back. Good job by Judah and Harry battling there along the boards. Parker sent another one whistling toward the goal. Deflected out in front. And Charlie does a good job coming away with that. He'll send it in deep, and Eagan will get a full change behind them. 5 fresh skaters. It looks like you've got the Ibrahim line with Barcelona, Martinson making his first appearance on the ice, and you've got Prager and Thomas as your D pair. Thomas sends it whistling across ice. Prager does a good job trying to chip that in. Here comes Barcelona on the forecheck, applying really good pressure. He'll be the first one there. Gets it, centers for Ibrahim, can't quite connect. Martinson comes out, has a full head of steam there, playing with some purpose here today, trying to avenge that penalty there. Hopefully he can put one in the back of the net. Not penalty, injury. Hopefully he can put one in the back of the net. All right, West St. Paul throws it down the other end of the ice, and we'll get another icing call. That'll come back to the left of the goalie here. 9:53 left in the first period, still knotted at 0. All right, West St. Paul wins that face-off against Umland. They'll send it around the boards. Good chase by Young to get there. That's tipped. Thomas throws one on net, deflected. Another good save by that goalie. Young battling in the corner. He's there with Umland. West St. Paul trying to come away with it. Aiden trying to apply a little body pressure. But they are on a 2-on-2, now 2-on-3. They'll throw one on net. It gets deflected off the stick. Ronan gains control there. He'll put on the brakes, circle back behind the net. He looks for Karsnia. He's got it there. Drew the set up. Tries to get a centering pass over to Young. Just behind him. Grayson looking to battle there. 11 beats him to the puck. He'll put on the brakes and come back out the other way. He'll sauce one over to the center ice. Tries to get the middle coming up. Parker pitches up from his D. Now he's got a one-on-one. Deke. Goal! Great job reading the play. Parker pinched in from his D position. Saw that guy was going to just trip it to the middle of the ice there. Taking candy from a baby. Went back the other way. Breakaway goal. All right. That'll bring out the Savage line. Savage centering Locke and Swanson. And you've got Shoop and Doof as your D pair. All right, refs down at the other end, trying to get the net back on. All right, Charlie wins that face-off, back to Duke. Duke gets it over to his D partner, Shoop, and he sends it up the right-hand side to Swanson, but it's intercepted by West St. Paul. And they're coming down the left-hand side. A little tripped up. Ruben with a beautiful sauce pass to Locke, and he's got some speed in front of him. He didn't have the number, so he'll throw one on net, goes high off the glass behind the net. Savage chips it in, keeps it to Locke. Locke gets it over to Camden, but Camden gets it lost in his skates, and Eagan will retreat the other way. All right. Cam puts on the brakes. Comes back. Gets it over to Savage. Nice little cross-ice pass there. Savage gets one off the boards to Nixon, but just off the edge of his stick. He'll turn, look, he'll send it back across the boards. Looking for Oliver, but can't connect. And here comes West St. Paul with some ice and speed the other way. Oh! Dead aim shot. Taken right off the mat by the coach. And here comes another attack. Off the pad and mark. Thomas fighting in the corner. Here comes Oliver. Here comes Cyril. They'll both chip it out. Here comes Cam. He'll get it up to Nixon. Nixon will push it out in front to the middle ice. And then he'll go get a change behind that. Oliver and Cyril still getting in pursuit. Young trying to stay on side and can't do so. He had it. All right, that'll bring out the Umlin line. Umlin wins it back to Duke. Duke sends it in deep, and those guys will give chase. Karsnia, Young, split F1, F2. Young or Umlin grabs position, dumps it back for Karsnia. Karsnia drops it back to Shoop. His one-timer doesn't go, and here comes West St. Paul the other way. Good pressure by Umlin to lift that quick stick. Duke comes back, gains control of the puck, and he'll drop it back deep. Ruben will chip it back up, gets it out to center ice, where West St. Paul will regroup, try and stay inside. They do so. Great look by Ruben on Drew's stick. Drew was looking to get it up to Umlin, but lost it at the last second there. West St. Paul dumps it deep, and they'll give chase. Here comes Parker circling around the net. He'll put on the brakes, try to reverse direction again. He gets it up to Swanson. Swanson looking. He tries to chip it up to Umlin, but he gets tied up last second. Could have been an interference, but they let it play. Parker gets it, circling. He'll hit it around the backboards over to Duke. Duke was looking to go cross ice and Locke, but he was covered, so decides to go up the right-hand side and gets it taken away there by West St. Paul. There we go. Charlie with a nice pass up to Locke, and he's going to drop it in deep, and those guys are going to give chase. Judah parks himself in front of the net. He comes back, sends it back in deep, and nice play there to get it back in deep, and Savage will continue to give chase. Swanson will get over there, apply some pressure. West St. Paul looking to break out just behind that skater, and so we are going to get icing is falling off. Okay. Good pressure there. West St. Paul trying to get it out front and can't do so. All right, Peter's got it in center ice. Cam sends a cross-ice pass over to his deep partner, Thomas. He'll sling it in just to the right of the goalie. And here goes Martinson, Ibrahim, and Barcelona giving chase. West St. Paul looking to get it out. Can't do so. Cam leapfrogs that guy. Gains control, slings it back in. Thomas, great job there at center ice. Get the little stick handling there to try and get a pass up, and it gets intercepted. Young now back on. Along with Karsnia, and Ibrahim's still out there at center, and he's got some speed coming down the left-hand side. He makes a move, tries to go back. Great move by Ibrahim there, coming down the left-hand side, makes a move at the net, tried to go back in and lost it just at the last second, but he had some serious steam coming down the left-hand side. All right, West St. Paul chips it out. And Deep's going to give some chase. Nice body play there to get himself in front of the West St. Paul players. Grayson does a nice job fighting along the boards there. He's going to try and chip it up. Can't do so. Ruben there. He'll bounce it off the board. Gets it to Young. Young out to Aiden. And here we go. Off to the race the other way. We got a 2-on-1 developing. Aiden tries to get it over to Karsnia and just out in front. Karsnia does a good job regaining control of the puck. West St. Paul knocks it off his stick, and here they come the other way. Duke does a nice job pitching in from the deep position. He'll come up the right-hand side. Swanson turns, slings it back in, and Eagan will get a change behind that. Right there. Here comes West St. Paul the other way. Eagan man rush. Let's sling one toward the net, and so with 3:46 left in the first period, Eagan is up 1-0. Shots on goal are even 2-2. You want to announce it all over there? All right. Cam chips it up to Nixon. Nixon chips it up to center ice, and here we go. West St. Paul's got it, and they're going to skate back, regain control. They'll go D to D there. They'll sling it back across the ice, and they'll go back across the ice. Three long consecutive passes. Last one finally intercepted by Eagan. Here comes Charlie circling around in front of the net. He's got some speed. He chips it out to Barcelona. Barcelona trying to overcome some sickness, so he has zero lung capacity, or so he's going to go get a change after about 10 seconds. Good job by Parker pinching it from his deep position to chip it back out to the offensive zone. She finally went. Okay. All right. We can chip it back down the other end of the ice. Parker gets it over to his deep partner, Duke. Duke will chip it up the boards to Young. Young will send it out to center ice. There will find Ibrahim. Let's see here. You got Ibrahim, Young, Martinson out there. Duke will circle back around the net. He'll put on the brakes. He'll come back. Send it back, pass along to himself along the boards. He gets it up to Martinson. Caught up in his skates for a second there. Martinson knew he had a 1-on-3, and it was at the end of his shift, so he sends it deep, and they'll go get a change behind that. All right, West St. Paul just looking to get it out. Eagan doing a really good job applying pressure there. Parker's got it. He comes through the center of the ice. Drew does a nice job staying on side. Unfortunately, one too many moves at the blue line, and we will get an offside penalty there. All right. Still 1-0, 1:51 to go in the first period. Shots are now in favor of Eagan, 3-2. All right, we got the Umlin line out there with Karsnia, Swanson. Umlin wins that back to Plager. Plager gets that over to Swanson. Swanson chips it up to Umlin, and Umlin will bring it into the zone. He's got Karsnia coming down on his left. He slings one on goalie, looking for that rebound to Karsnia. Karsnia fighting, battling. Puck comes squirting out of the Eagan zone over to Plager. Plager's looking. He'll get back up to Umlin. Umlin will swing it back down deep, and they will go on the forecheck. West St. Paul goalie takes it, throws it back out, and here comes West St. Paul the other way. They got numbers, 3-on-2 developing. Swanson working hard to get back into the play. They swing it high and well over the net. And here comes Swanson headed the other way. Odd man rush, 1-on-4, end their shift, so he'll sling it deep and go get a change behind that. So now we have Savage, Locke, Barcinella, and Cam and Shoop as your D pair. Okay, Eagan looking to keep it in. there was a battle along the boards there. Nixon was slashed and lost his stick. And as he was standing there, for whatever reason, ref must have thought he retaliated. Didn't see much there, but he took them both to the box. So 48 seconds left in the first period, and he'll send both players to the bench or to the box. All right. We'll still have 5-on-5 action. Okay. Savage wins that back. West St. Paul regains control. Savage had it briefly. He pitches in, lost possession. Oh, Parker with a great job deflecting that with his glove. That was about to land right on the West St. Paul stick. West St. Paul gets it over. Ruben cuts that angle off. There's a Stokesy with an amazing save. Stokesy with an amazing save. Just planted that left foot, shot himself over to the right, got there just in time for that to deny that kid on the right post. Judah, good job cleaning up the mess there. There was a lot of kids charging in that, looking for that loose puck. So good job by Judah putting bodies on that kick. All right. Face off one by West St. Paul. 12 seconds left. Looking. They sling one over toward the net. Deflected by Stokesy out in front. Young tries to sauce over to Umland. Can't connect, but they do get it out of the zone here. So West St. Paul can have to regroup. And that is the end of the period. All right. At the end of one, with Eagan leading West St. Paul 1-0. She headed home. Okay. All right, folks, here we go. Start of the second period. And we'll start it with Barcelona and the West St. Paul player in the box, working off their matching penalties, matching minors. All right, we'll kick off the second period with the Umland line, centering Karsnia and Young. And you got Camden and Ronan as your D pair. All right, Umland wins that back to Cam. Cam gets it over to Karsnia. Karsnia picks it up to Umland. Umland looking. Sends one on net. Gets the rebound over to Young, but couldn't convert. Cam will get that. He'll sling it back over to Karsnia. Karsnia does a great job digging that out of his skates. Gets it over to Young. Young puts it back up. And Umland's giving chase over there. Great forecheck. Good pressure there. Umland wins that. He's got it down in the corner. He's looking to center. Tries to sauce one over to Young. Can't get there. Young fighting behind the net. And here comes Martinson on the forecheck. Okay, Umland goes off. Cyril goes on. West St. Paul in transition. Tipped away by Thomas at the last second. West St. Paul's got it deep in the corner there. Thomas giving chase. Good pressure there. He'll get support from Cyril. West St. Paul has it behind the net. They're searching, looking to center it. He flings it out to his D. D can't go D to D, so he flings it back deep into the corner. Wings behind there will play a little ping pong and then look to center it, but it comes squirting out front, and here comes Martinson the other way. He gets to the red line, takes a shot on goal, and we'll get a change behind him. So you've got Duke, Shoot, Swanson, Ibrahim, and Locke. Cyril with the shot from the left side. Just goes whistling right by the goalie's ear. Parker pinches in from his deep position, and they collide at center ice. Locke with a good job bodying here, and we're going to get a whistle. Not quite sure why at this point. Came from the back. So it looks like offside called from about 30 feet behind the play. All right. So it looks like Barcelona is off. Not doing a good job breathing. That's an important part of hockey. So Egan's lines are going to be a little jumbled. So we've got Locke, Swanson, and see Savage out there right now with Shoop and Duke as the defense. Parker does a good job pacing. Oh, great pass, centering. Oh, put it right on Swanson's tape, and it squirts off his stick at the last second. Nice play there. All right. Did he find his inhaler? All right. West St. Paul slings a one-time from the point. No interference in front, so that was pretty easy save by Stokesy, or at least made it look easy. Plager gives chase. Good stick there. Gets it over to Shoop. Shoop goes cross ice over to Barcinella. Barcinella will take it up the right-hand side. He'll get to the red line, and he will send another shot on goal, looking for a deflection. West St. Paul circling, open on the brakes, come around the ice. Come around the backside of the net. Oof. Puck bombed up, sitting right in front of the net there, but we couldn't get our sticks around. Carsmere gets chased, good battle down below the net. Oh, really good stick move there. Tries to get it out to Young, but just can't connect. Great job by Umla. Hey-o! There's a soccer player in him. Kick that down right onto the stick, sends a shot on goal, and that's gloved by him. All right. 10:40 left in the second period. Egan up 1-0. Shots in favor of Egan 4-3. And this face-off will come to the right of the West St. Paul goalie. All right. Cyril centering Barcinella, who's back, and Martinson. And Deuce and Shoop are your details. Great job by Ruben pitching into the deep position, but he collides with big number 16 and takes the brunt of that. He looks to be okay. I don't know if that's adrenaline or what, but man, that was a hard hit into the boards by Ruben. Here comes Nixon the other way. All right, Dukes regains possession, waiting for everybody to get on side. He'll circle back, bring it over to his deep partner, Shoop. Shoop slings it up the boards over to Martinson, and Martinson and Eugene will give chase. Great job by Parker pinching in to keep that in our zone. Ibrahim looking, sends it up. Center one looking for Martinson, comes out to Duke. Duke sends one low across the ice, looking for a deflection. He's got some ice. He will send it deep into the left-hand side. And Egan at the end of a long shift trying to get a change there. All right, big number 16 coming down the ice, stick handling. Couldn't get through everybody. Parker finally pokes that over to the right-hand side. Great job by Cyril putting a body on that big boy and basically knocking him off the puck, and Swanson gives chase. Cyril just doing a great job of being aggressive with his feet, and 16 just got really upset, and ref missed it, but he just turned and hit him right in the back with his stick. So we'll keep an eye on that. Speed kills and speed frustrates, so great job by Cyril there. All right, West St. Paul has it over to the side of the net. Here we go. He throws it over. Stokesy makes the easy save, and Egan looks like face-off will come over to the right of Stokesy. What do we got here? West St. Paul requesting a meeting with the referees. All right, here we go. We've got Savage centering Young and Locke. Savage centering Young and Locke with Plager and Thomas as your D pair. 8:55 left in the first period. West St. Paul wins that. Chips it in. Thomas with some pressure behind the net. West St. Paul controlling, circling out front. Decide to make a quick little move. Still behind the net. Making moves over on the wing. Back behind the net. Looking for somebody out front. Eagan doing a good job of clearing out traffic, but that was a good pass. They were looking for the one-timer. We need to make sure we get eyes on that guy. And it looks like there's a delayed penalty on Eagan. It looks like it's going to be on Ronan for roughing. Oh, cross. Yep, cross check. That's right. So Ronan will head to the box for a minute and a half, cross check, but kind of a necessary evil there. Kid streaking right down the slot, and Thomas, instead of letting that wide open attempt come, he decided to go ahead and put a body on that kid. All right. West St. Paul is a lot of laundry on the ice here. Looks like the kid lost an elbow pad. So, all right, here we go. Drew will take that face off. Looks like we've got Umlin, Karsnia, Doof, and Shoop on the ice. West St. Paul controls, playing D-to-D, being patient here. Down the left-hand side, good old number 16, or 11, I should say, was doing a good job clearing traffic. Just put a big old stick in the back of somebody, knocked him down, and as they did, Wing took a shot, went whistling right over Stokes' shoulder. So West St. Paul ties it up 1-1 with 8 minutes, 2 seconds left in the second period. All right, Eagan wins that face-off, back to Shoop. Shoop will get it to the red line, and he will chip it in. West St. Paul there with a nice little glove. He'll push it down for himself. And it looks like we're going to get, Eagan's going to get called for another penalty. And they'll send Nixon back to the box for roughing. All right, West St. Paul will go back on the penalty play, on the power play. And we'll have Cyril centering, we'll have Charlie centering Cyril with Doof and Shoop as your D pair. West St. Paul wins that, gets it out to the point. They'll go D-to-D up top, circling. Good pressure there by Cyril. He'll get it back over to that D partner. Cyril with great pressure. I mean, was just inches away from having a breakaway the other way. He'll send a shot out from the point. Big save there by Stokesy. Another big save by Stokesy. And then Duke does a great job just shooting that over to the corner. West St. Paul with a good centering pass. Nice job by Abraham coming back on that back check there to lift his stick at the last second. Savage gets it. Couldn't control it. He's trying to sling it just to chip it out of the zone, but couldn't get it. West St. Paul regains control. Centering pass there. He'll go out to the point. They'll scissor in exchange. Here comes Cyril. Good stick check. Good poke check. Good poke check. He'll stay on it. He'll stay on it. West St. Paul flings one toward the net. Stokesy with a nice blocker save. And Savage gains possession, and he'll send it to the other end of the ice, and we'll get an icing call. But great job on that penalty kill there by those four. All right, 29 seconds left in the power play. 6:44 left in the second period. West St. Paul will bring big number 11 out there. Hopefully these refs keep an eye on his stick out in front. So Umlin loses that face off to West St. Paul. He'll give chase. Good. Circle it behind the net. Great job by Cam bodying that big number 11, keeping in front of him. Back out to the point. He'll throw a shot on goal. A lot of interference. Stokesy with a great save there. And Umlin gets it and slings it down the other end of the ice. And will it make it? Yes, it does. All right. Must be a hometown clock because that clock froze pretty quick. So there'll be 3 seconds left on the Eagan penalty kill. And we're gonna stay out there with Umlin now. And Locke will be his partner. And then you'll have Plager and Thomas as your D pair. All right, Umlin wins that back to Plager. Plager bodied into the boards. Umlin's there. Nixon coming down. Here comes Umlin. He'll look to chip it out to center ice. Was looking for Nixon on a home run pass. Nixon's now got it. He chips it up to Locke just off of his stick. Plager's going to pinch it from his D position. He'll get it up to Umlin going into the boards. He gets bodied out of the play there. He comes in. Nixon comes right off the Nixon's stick. Nixon takes a shot, just whistling right over the left shoulder of the goalie there. Too high. Wesleyan Paul gains control. Over behind the net. Umlin gets it there. He'll put it on goal, looking for a deflection. Plager's going to pitch. And West St. Paul will come away with it. Umlin gets it again. Umlin will get bodied into the boards there, and but no call. West St. Paul loses their stick. Umlin's all over the ice here. He is. We've got a play behind where the West St. Paul player's skate is in Umlin's sock, and so they were tied up there and weren't going anywhere. But, I mean, just an amazing hustle there by Aiden on that play. He was all over the dang ice. All right, here we go. Back at even strength. Score tied at 1. 5:11 left in the second period. Got Savage centering Young and Karsnia with Shoot and Duth as your D pair. Schuth gets it, looks to send it over to his D partner, Duth. Duth gets there, brings it right back around to Parker. Parker can't loses control for just a second, sent it way across the ice, had Karsnia streaking, and Karsnia will stay on the forecheck. Great body there to push that big number 11 off the puck. He'll get better. Shoot gets it up to Karsnia. He'll deflect it briefly. We got a 3-on-1 developing. He sends it off to Savage. Savage! What a great look. What a great look by Karsnia, sliding it over to Savage. He won't miss many of those. He's 9 for 10 if you give him another 8 chances. But it slides just to the left of the goal. All right. Parker gets back. Oof. Ruben does good to send it high off the glass and sends it down to the West St. Paul end, and we'll get a change behind that. Great job by Martinson keeping that puck in. He's got Nixon will circle. He's looking. Gets it backhand pass out to the point for Plager. Plager with the chip. Oh, looking for Martinson's stick. Couldn't find it. Nixon does a good job bodying that kid off the puck. Cyril over to him. Nixon gets it up to Martinson. Martinson will take one. Looking for Cyril. Just couldn't connect, and here goes one-on-one the other way with Plager. Great back check by Parker, but he will get called with a slash. You're not going to give him a penalty shot. No, you're not. Okay. I was like, what are you talking about? That ref. Every time we get that ref. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got Plager, Thomas as your D pair, Savage and Locke. Savage wins it over to Locke. Judah does a good job chipping and chasing. He's going to beat that kid there. Great hustle by him. He gets bodied into the board there. Could have been interference, but refs decide to keep their whistle out of their mouth. West St. Paul sends a pass across ice. Nice little chip shot to number 7. One time by him. Gets deflected, and they've got it down on the boards. They do a really good job of setting up their power play, so we'll have to watch number 10 in front of the ice, in front of the net. Here we go. Nice job by Charlie recognizing that, lifting his stick. He'll circle. He'll drop it back to the point. Number 7 sends one low along the ice, looking for a deflection. Not there, but West St. Paul in the right place at the right time, send it high over Stokes' shoulder. Goal. All right, 2:47 left here in the second period. Eagan down 2-1. All right, let's see. That'll bring the Umlin line back out. Umlin centering Karsnia, Young. with Shoup and Duth as your D pair. Umlin wins that. He'll win it back to Karsnia. Karsnia sends it back to Duth. Duth tries to get it back to Karsnia, but it gets caught up in the ref stakes. Parker does a great job of getting it over to Young. He'll send it down to the far opposite corner, and Karsnia will get chase. Good forecheck pressure there. Allows Young to come skating in. He'll lose it to Wesley Paul, but Duth does a great job. Pinching in from his D spot. Sends one out toward the net. Karsnia! Duth did a great job pinching in from his D position, swung it back behind the boards, came back out. Karsnia standing strong in front of the net, finds it, took 1, 2, 3 whacks, and finally puts it in the back of the net, and Eagan ties it at 2. 2:15 left in the second period. All right, that'll bring out the Ibrahim line, centering Barcelona Markinson. Cyril wins that over to Oliver. Oliver will come along the board, and he will send it in deep. Cyril giving chase. What's the date? Nixon sends one low across the ice, looking for a deflection as Oliver was crashing. Again, Ruben being really aggressive here, pinching in from his D position, applying a lot of great pressure. That allowed the rest of these guys to come in. Cyril with a great stick, sends it back in deep, and Eagan will give more pressure. We'll get a pair change behind our D pair. Plager and Thomas come out. Ibrahim with a shot, comes whistling over the net. He tries to save it. It almost got deflected down. Another shot from the point. Broke down by the goalie. Ibrahim with some great pressure. He's got Barcelona in front of the net, battling in front of the net. Martinson with a good stick check. Plager tries to pinch in. He's recovered. Goalie tries to swipe one across. Dangerous play there, but eventually West St. Paul able to knock that away. Great job by Plager cutting that off. Great job by Ronan getting back to the other post. And he'll sling it back. Try to sling it back out to center ice, but can't do so. West St. Paul throws one in front of the net, looking for a tip. Not there. He'll circle. Gets deflected. Charlie will regain control. Circle around the net. 45 seconds left in the second period. Perry was looking for Judah coming around the center, but that gets knocked off his stick. West St. Paul can't gain control. Ronan will turn, get to his forehand, and looking to make a pass there, but unfortunately found the West St. Paul stick. So for whatever reason, they tried to sling it around the boards and nobody there, so came way down into their own zone. Charlie, like a bat out of hell off the bench through a change, almost got there. Judah does a good job. He'll send it in deep. 10 seconds left in the second period. Karsnia, great job trying to almost stole her there. Had a lot of ice. Over to Young. Young chips it up to Karsnia. West St. Paul content to throw it down ice. And it is tied 2-2 after the second period. All right, here we go. Third and final period. Score knotted at 2. That'll bring out the Umlin line, centering Karsnia and Young. Aiden wins that over to Grayson. Grayson will take it and he'll sling it around the boards. Umlin has it. Surveying. Looks out front. Had Karsnia streaking. Karsnia puts it on net. Oh! Good pad save there by the goalie. Drew having himself a game here today. Dude sends that one back around the boards. Aiden on the forecheck. Gets there. West St. Paul comes away with it. Egan's still pressuring. Shoop trying to keep that in, but can't do so. His D partner will be there to cover for him. Ruben sends it over to Karsnia. Karsnia looks to backhand it up to Umlin, but gets intercepted. Here comes Parker chipping in from his D positions. Had a one-on-one, got down low, put a hard shot on the goalie, but good pad save by him. Judah's now on. He gets it, sends it back out to Parker. Parker will send another one. Gets deflected high. Umlin shoots. He puts another one on the goalie. We were just peppering this guy. Great job putting shots on him, applying a lot of pressure. He just can't clean up in front of the net. Parker waits till Judah gets on side, and he'll send one deep behind the net, and we'll get a change behind that. So you have Savage. Oh, Parker. Oh. Parker walked one in and had the top left corner and just sent it high over the net. He'll chop it down. He'll get it over to Cam. Cam will get it up to Charlie, but intercepted as West St. Paul was coming off the bench for a change. Cam sent that far across the ice. West St. Paul played it offsides. All right. Face-off will come to center ice. We'll have Savage out there with Locke and Swanson, with Plager and Thomas as a D pair. Charlie wins that back to Cam. Cam surveys. He gets the backhand over to Ronan. Ronan will get it over to Judah. Judah can find it in his skates, and West St. Paul will regain possession in the corner. They'll throw one out in front of the net. Can't connect, but here comes Charlie the other way. If we skate, we got a 3-on-2 advantage, but West St. Paul does a good job on the back check. Chuck sends one right into his chest, looking for that rebound. That was a nice hard shot right to his chest. West St. Paul goalie sits on that one. So face-off will come out to his left. 12:01 left in the third period. All right, that brings out the Ibrahim line, centering Barcelona and Martinson. You got Plager and Thomas as your D pair. All right. Eagan wins that face-off. Cam does a good job of recapturing control of that puck. Smart play there, given the fact that he had West St. Paul barreling down on him, so he was content just to get that puck as far away from him as possible. Face-off will come to center ice. All right, West St. Paul comes away with that puck, and big number 11 will come away with that. He sends it in deep. Looks like Plager's going to be the first one to the puck. And I don't know what happened here. With a hook. All right. I didn't see it. But looks like Cyril will go to the box for hooking. Told you. This guy is terrible.
Hey, this game's not about you, Stripes. Let him play hockey.
Wait, what? What?
Well, I think the Caribbean
What happened? Yeah. What?
Wow. This ref. I've said it before. All right. Well, penalty went from a hook to a 5-minute major, and Cyril got ejected. All right. So Eagan will be 5-on-4. Eagan will be 5-on-4 for the next 5 minutes. All right, see what we can do. All right, Eagan wins the face-off, and West St. Paul throws one toward net. Let's see if Stokesy can stand tall here. Let's see if the boys take this personally, and Aiden with some great pressure gets it up to Karznia. Karznia chips it up ahead. Aiden on giving chase. Great pressure there. West St. Paul looking to regain control. They do so. They're content to come behind the net. So, okay. Here they come, regroup, coming down the side. 11 sends it up. Great job by Parker with a stick. He'll send it back down. Get on net. Nope. Just goes to the right-hand side. It'll come down, back down to the right-hand side of Stokesy. Icing. Okay. 4 minutes, 17 seconds left on the West St. Paul power play, or the Eagan penalty kill. 11:02 left in the third period. All right. Savage. West St. Paul will win that. They'll go back to the D. D chips it in. They'll go back to the other D. They'll send it on goal. Sochi with a good save there. And West St. Paul picks up the rebound in front of the net. And West St. Paul puts one right over Stokes' shoulder. All right. All right.
Let's go, Eagan!
Still got 4 minutes and 6 seconds left on the Ibrahim Major. West St. Paul up 3-2. All right. West St. Paul has it deep. Looking. We'll send it across ice. Plager will chip in. Gets it back over there. Judah applying pressure. Gets skated around. Gotta take the body, boys. Good job by Plager taking the body, sending that off. And he gives it up to Savage. And Savage has Locke, and there's a 2-on-2 developing the other way. Locke puts on the brakes, and he will head off for a change. Charlie sends one into the boards there, but we were getting a change behind it. Grayson with a quick little poke check there. Sends it off the stick of the West St. Paul player. Grayson gets it over to Thomas. Thomas looking. He sends it, wraps it back around the boards to Barcelona. Barcelona can't gain control there. Doof sends it over. West St. Paul has it up at the top. Sends it up to the point. The point sends it back down deep. Ronan gets it. Sends it back up to Young. But that's deflected. Barcelona trying to get there. He chips it over to Doof. Doof tries to send it back up to Barcelona, but can't connect. West St. Paul has it behind the net. They're surveying, looking, circling. Sends it back up to the point. Grayson will get there. He'll send it back off over to the wing. Back up to the point. Shot, tip, deflected, wide. Barcelona has it, send it up the right-hand side. He's got some ice. He's just going to keep sending it up. And he'll get it in deep, and Eagan will go get a change behind that. All right, 2 minutes, 20 seconds left on the power play. 9 minutes left in the game. Umlin with a great job. Great stick there. Knocks it off. He'll regain control. Sends it over to, tries to send it over to Martinson. Can't connect. And he'll just skate it himself out of his zone. Gets tipped at the last second. Now it's out of his zone. Martinson chips it up. He sent it in deep to the West St. Paul zone. Aiden gives chase. Keeps it in, keep applying pressure, sends it over to Martinson. Martinson back over to Umlin. Umlin tries to chip that in and just misses. That was a great give and go there, Umlin and Martinson, but Aiden just couldn't put it in the back of the net. Nice job, though. All right, Shoot sends it. He's circling. He's going to try and kill off as much of his penalty as he can. Tries to get it over to Savage. He does, and winds up backhanding it over to him. Savage has it. He's going to bring it down the left-hand side. Maintain possession. He's got it. He'll send it along the boards. Back to himself. Gets it up. And West St. Paul will intercept that, and they'll come back the other way. Good pressure there by Savage. Great back check by Savage. Great job there. Looking to clear it. Can't do so. Still fighting in the corner. West St. Paul comes away with it. 1 minute left in the power play. will send it over to the wing. He'll send it over to the point. Point sends it wide right of the net. Savage might want to try and get a change. He's been on that ice a hell of a long time. And there he goes. Cam does a good job flipping that out to center ice. Judah giving chase. This guy gets around Judah. Parker sends it over. Oh, nice play. I don't know who that was, but great job getting that back at the ice. Karsnia applying pressure. Nice job there. All right. Got 25 seconds left in the power play. Here comes West St. Paul looking for one last rush. They'll come down hard down the right-hand side looking to wrap around. Can't find anybody. He'll maintain possession. He'll drop it off to his D. Karsnia steps up. Great job pinning that against the boards. Stay there. Good F2 by Young. Good. 5 seconds left in the power play. There we go. West St. Paul comes away with it. Number 7 at the point. Hits someone on net. I think that's one that Stokesy wish he could get back. Yep, definitely. All right. Let's see. At 6:44 left in the game, we've got West St. Paul up 4-2. All right, you got Umland centering Martinson and Barcinella. Here we go. Shoop's got it. He'll go back over. He maintains possession, gets it up to Umland. Umland coming down. Oh, gets it poked away at the last second. And that kid looked like he threw his stick at Aiden, but Aiden comes away with it. Here he goes. Coming across. Tries to go 5-hole. Goalie collapsed that pretty quick. Umland, Duth still battling. Umland with the backhand. Tried to go 5-hole again. Deflected. Umland just all over the ice. Barcinella gets back to Umland. Umland over to Martinson for a one-time can't. Wasn't there. Barcinella surveying. He's got Parker coming down the slot. Didn't see him. Umland's there for the rebound. Backhand score. Great pressure by that group there. Great pressure by that group there to get this game back to 4-3. Aiden all over the place. Just an amazing effort there by number 27. I'm glad he could pay it off with a backhand goal. Top shelf. All right. That'll bring out the Savage line. Got Charlie centering Judah and Harry. He wins that. Harry wins that back to Cam. Cam tries to send it along the boards, but gets intercepted. Harry on the back check gets that. Good job there. He circles around the net. He's looking. He'll get it up to Cam. Cam gets it right back to Harry. Harry gets it up to Judah. Judah loses an edge, but Charlie's there. Nice job by Thomas stepping up to keep that in the zone. And let's see who's that. Harry will give chase. West St. Paul sends that, and it looks like we will not get a icing call. Cam does beat the player back to the puck. West St. Paul tries to keep it in. Judah deflects. Thomas applying pressure. We'll send it back to West St. Paul. Send it back to Carter, looking for a centering pass. If he sends both of them, jeez Louise.
What?
Are you serious?
Same ref that disqualified Cyril is now going to send both Cam and West St. Paul to the box. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Marcus looking for some further explanation. All right, well, 5-on-5. Let's see how long we're going to be this way. Aiden wins this back to Parker. Parker tries to send one the length of the ice, but the ref gets in the way. Parker regains control. He turns, tries to get it to Umland, but just off his stick. West St. Paul turns, sling it in, and they'll get called for offsides. Sorry, I'm still shocked by the fact that he took both players. All right. Got Umland centering Karsnia. Young, Duke, shoot. Eagan winds up coming away with that. Drew with a great job. Good poke check there by Drew. Send it in deep. Get on the forecheck. Grayson giving chase in the corner. Good hustle by him to keep that in. Great job regaining control there. He gets it over to Shoop. Shoop will put one on the net. He sends one low, so looking for a rebound. Everybody was crashing the net, and a lot of bodies went flying. A couple of them landed on the goalie. No malintent. And they will send... Oh, there you go. I was wondering. Okay. So he will send number 15 for roughing. So he'll go in the box for another minute and a half. So Eagan will be 5-on-4 for the next minute and a half. Let's see what we can do here. Still got Umlin over to Karsnia. Karsnia gains control, gets it over to Shoop. Shoop back over to Umlin. Umlin possesses. He's looking. He's walking in. Gets it to Karsnia. Karsnia behind the net. Looks to sneak it in. Can't do so. Off the boards. Umlin regains possession. He's got it. He gets it back to Shoop. Shoop's looking. He sends one on net. Off his pads. Umlin regains control. He's going to walk it in. Gets it over to Drew. Drew circling. Was going to go to D. Made smart decision. Umlin behind the net. Looking for Shoop coming down. Oh! Had Young, had Shoop, and neither one of them could connect. And here comes West St. Paul with some speed the other way. Good job by Thomas trying to push him off. He does. Great job with the body. Great job by Roden being strong there. Just shove him off the puck. Parker coming with speed the other way. He tries to send one on the goal. Goes wide left of the goalie there. Charlie now on the ice. He digs deep into the shoulder. He gets it over to Karsnia. Karsnia backhand to Young. What a pass! Karsnia with a backhand to Young. And what pressure! Karsnia came in front of the net, pivoted, backhand pass to Young. Young sends it through the 5-hole. Gets denied, but again, Karsnia is sitting there opportunistic. Once, twice, pokes it in, and another hustle goal by Karsnia. All right, Eagan ties it at 4 with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. All right, 16 is now out of the box, and West St. Paul quick to put him back on the ice. You got Savage, Locke, Swanson. Parker gets it, wins it, gets it over to the boys. Judah gets it. Red line, sends it in deep. West St. Paul goalie there to retrieve the puck. Sends it around the boards. Ruben pinches in from his deep position, sends it back deep. West St. Paul turning, looking. Parker does a good job stepping up from his deep position. He's going to come along the boards. Just misses the ref. Oh, he misses the ref, but the puck didn't. Parker will send one along. West St. Paul goalie gobbles that up, drops it off to his player, and here they come trying to break out the other way. Puck finds the inside of that guy's sticks, and here comes Charlie with speed the other way. Oliver trying to stay on side. Oh, and it does a great job by Charlie bringing that back. Just a smart play by Charlie, bringing that back out of the zone so Oliver can get on side. Throws it, gets a shot on goal, and gets off for a change after that. All right. Ronan has it. He's looking to go length of the ice there for Oliver. Oliver with a great little play there, basketball play. He's coming down. He tries to center one to Umlin. Can't connect. Umlin poking. And here we go. Melee in front of the net. Melee in front of the net. That's after the whistle, and we're going to get nothing called. Let's see what the refs decide here. Well, he's pointing as if he's ejecting somebody. I don't know. So there's 10 goes to the box.
I don't think so. I think you're taking them. Or
So So the ref is going to send number 10 and number 16 to the box. As well as Plager. Okay. All right. So Eagan will be 5 on. Let me see here. Get my math and. Let's see. All right. For those following along at home, it looks like Eagan's going to be on the power play for the next minute and a half. We'll be 5 on 4. It looks like number 16 and number 10 went to the box for West St. Paul. Cam went to the box for Eagan. Scores tied 4-4, 2 minutes, 10 seconds left in the game. We got the Umlin line out there, centering Young and Karsnia. Aiden wins it. Back to Shoop. Shoop sends it along, gets deflected. Ronan does a great job pinching in from his position, sends it in deep. Grayson hustles back, gets pinned against the boards. Back to Thomas. Thomas will send it along to Shoop. Shoop, another shot, right on goal. Parker sends one whistling at the goalie. Had possession, lost it for a second there. Drew jumped on that, regained possession, whistle. All right. 1 minute, 8 seconds left in the power play. 1 minute, 47 seconds left in the game. We're going to keep Umlin out there. He's going to have Charlie to his left, Drew on his right. Aiden wins it. Charlie sends one on the goalie low, deflected. Eagan regains control. Charlie gets it over to Aiden. Aiden circling behind the net. Oh, my sweet Betty. They're going to get called Drew for what do they call him for? I don't know. They're going to get Drew for, I didn't see what they called. What did they all right. So we're going to get a soft penalty here on Drew for roughing or something. I don't know exactly what it was, but nevertheless, he's in the box. So we're at 4 on 4 here. Parker's fighting behind. He's going to get it over to Aiden. Aiden's going to send it over to Ronan. Ronan gets it back to Aiden. He'll get it over to Parker. Parker is looking. He's going to skate. He gets it up to Aiden. Aiden chips it over to Charlie. Now it's Charlie coming. What's it get? Minute left in the game. 23 seconds left on West St. Paul's penalty. Charlie gets shoved off the puck in Aiden's skates. Here comes West St. Paul on a 2-on-1. Aiden hustling to get back into the play. Woof. West St. Paul did a good job sending that across. Oh, Stokesy comes up big. West St. Paul had a shot dead on and tried to go top shelf. Stokesy stood tall. West St. Paul with another shot right in front of Stokesy, and he will glove that one down. All right. 25 seconds. Cam is now out of the box. West St. Paul, both men are out of the box.
They're way too tired. Get them off the ice.
So here we go. We've got now 29 seconds left in the third, 25 seconds left on Karsnia's penalty. And we've got we got Young centering Locke and Barcelona with Booth. Barcelona doing a good job pushing that kid out from in front of the net. They'll send one high, 16 seconds left. West St. Paul controlling. Oh, here we go. We got numbers the other way. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And West St. Paul and Eagan will skate to a 4-4 tie. All right. 4-4 tie, 12-12 in shots. A lot of left to be desired penalties. We'll see you next time.
It's when you take the stick and.
I'm one of the guys who lives a long ways away. Just came up for this game. So you guys on the camera.
Let's go,
I'm
coach.
the backup guy,
Well,
but
but
I'll
I'm
let the
telling
other guys know too.
You, all of them. I really appreciate it.
Hey,
You're
pick it
welcome.
up,
You're
coach.
welcome. Glad you enjoy it.
Pick it up.
You, my grandson.
Let's go. Come on.